I am Neha and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we are in the month of February, which is the month of love, obviously. And with Valentine's Day coming up very soon, I'm going to share my top 5 romance book recommendations to fill your life with these cozy emotional love stories. I think romance genre has been a very hit or miss for me. I have read so many books in the genre, but most of them has been very forgettable for me, but when it hits right, it's all in for me. These are some of the books I have read many years ago and still I remember them very fondly, and you'll see most of them are quite underrated, so I hope they get all the love they deserve. Here are my 5 recommendations. So my very first pick is my all-time favorites, and surprisingly it's a YA novel. It's not a genre I read much now, but I read this years ago and have reread them many times, and I can still say that this is my one of my favorite books of all time. So it's called Win Some, Lose Some by Shea Savage. It has around 3,000 ratings on Goodreads and with 4.2 score. So obviously people really liked it. It is terribly underrated in my opinion. So in this book we are following Matthew Rohan. He has Asperger's syndrome. He's not used to changes in his life, and having just lost his parents a year ago, he's struggling every day. So one day he gets a big change in his routine when he gets to partner with this girl called Maya in his class for an assignment. They're in the same class, but they don't know each other. Through this partnership, they get to know each other, and Maya gets to know more about his condition and how he is as a person. And I really loved the progression of their relationship. I loved Matthew as our main protagonist. We get the book completely from his perspective. We get to see his struggles and how every day counts as a lose or win day for him. I love how he slowly opens to Maya about his life, his condition. Though we don't get the POV of Maya, she's an amazing heroine. He is one of the most thoughtful, accepting person in his life. He tries his best to understand Matthew's struggle and be the person, give him that space that he can be himself. So I really love their relationship. Apart from main characters, we have great side characters: Matthew's uncle, aunt, Maya's father, and Matthew's relationship with his sister, who also have Asperger's syndrome. It's been quite long since my last read. I reread this thrice, but still I can remember some very great scenes, some emotional scenes, which really stuck to my heart. And there's a reason this is one of my top favorite, because how unforgettable this is and how much this is close to my heart. Loved it. This is highly recommended from my side. My second pick is Ghosted by J.M. Darhover, and it's a second chance romance. And if you're going to ask me what my favorite trope in romance is, I'm never going to say second chance romance, because it's not something I like most of the time, but when it's done right, it really hits hard. That is the case with this one. So it's a beautiful emotional story of second chance love, and apart from that, we are also getting some deep emotional talk about self-love, parental love, which is really beautiful to see here. In this one, we have Kennedy and Jonathan, who met in high school and fell in love. Jonathan has always wanted to be an actor, and Kennedy wanted to be with him, so they run away together from home to follow their dream. But things kind of fell apart very soon when she find out that she's pregnant. There's something really heartbreaking happens, and their relationship breaks apart. Now, 7 years later, both are leading a very different life. Kennedy is a single mother who works in a grocery store, and Jonathan is a very successful movie star who is facing a lot of turbulence in his life. He is an addict and completely surrounded by so many scandals. He's hiding from the media and comes to this town where Kennedy is, and they kind of become part of each other's life for their daughter's sake. The present timeline is in first POV. We are getting both of their POVs in the book. We also are getting past timeline when they were in high school, and we are getting this through Kennedy's journal entries. It's completely in second person POV, which I thought was very interesting. I really like this, and I loved both Kennedy and Jonathan as a character. They were not perfect and makes a lot of mistake. You find them, you wanted to shake some sense into them a lot of times, especially Jonathan, especially in the early relationship. But you know they are for each other, they love each other, and they are made for each other. So you are rooting for them even when they are apart. I really liked Kennedy's parents' relationship with her daughter, both of their relationship with their daughter. Also, the author has a very distinct writing style of her own, which is really very accessible to you. It's very emotional, makes you feel all the feels by the end of the book. I especially like the message it portrayed. Apart from their love story, we also get so many talk about self-love, parental love, and how when you are in love with someone, you forget yourself. I really found the overall message really touching and heartfelt, and this is one of my favorite quotations from the book. Loved it. My third pick is Street Smart by Ellie Stiles. Now, this is one book I remember things the least about, but I remember how I felt while reading it. It was really funny and hilarious book. It's full of humor, and you get to see office espionage. We are following Marcus, who gets the internship in this big media company right after college. Somehow he get himself into this corporate espionage situation, which involves Eva, who is the daughter of the owner of this company. It's a fast-paced workplace romance that is so charming and funny. Both the characters have such a great chemistry, and it was very fun to read. I remember this is the first book in the series, but all the books follow other people and are written by different writers. So I tried reading second book, didn't like it, so I didn't continue after that. This one is definitely fun to read. If you are looking for something light and fun, this is definitely you should pick. Now comes one of my favorite subgenre of romance, that is sports romance. I have read so many of them, but these two are the ones I really like, and I loved both of these. I highly recommend both of them. So the first one is The Rest of the Story by Tal Bjor. We are following Morgan and Shia. Morgan is a hockey player, and he gets transferred to this new team, which is not a good team. Has a lot to prove. He comes there as their captain and meets Shia, who is another player in the team. This is an age gap romance. Morgan is quite senior and Shia is a rookie. I loved both these characters. It's kind of slow burn. You don't get to see their relationship right away. There's a lot of hockey dynamic. It's the found family aspect of this, which I really loved. I loved how great the team was. It's quite unrealistically sweet in some ways. It was also surprisingly very dark and emotional in many places. The team is called Outlaws, seeing their journey from underdog to getting all the recognition and success they deserve. That rise along with Morgan as a captain and Shia is the co-captain, I think. Seeing their dynamic with each other, with their team, and it's also an underdog story, so I loved it. There are so many moments in this book which I remember very vividly. For me, those are the books I tend to read where I'm really rooting for a couple, and this was the same. There's also one other book by the same author, Gravity, which was also very good, but this is my favorite of him so far. Next is The Long Game by Rachel Reed. This was one of my favorites of 2025, and I talk about this in my best and worst read of 2025 video. You can go to that for the details, but there's nothing new which I'm going to say. With the show's popularity, I'm pretty sure many of you have already read it, and this is the continuation of Shane and Ilya's book from Hated Rivalry, so you will have to read that book to read this one. And it's a 6-book series. Each have different couples, but second and sixth is Shane and Ilya's book, and you have to read that one at least. We are also getting their third book very soon, Unrivaled, so I'm really excited to read about this. I was not a big fan of Hated Rivalry. I thought the last third of the book was very good, but I really loved the characters and their relationship. That's why I read The Long Game last year, and this was surprisingly very emotional. You get so much talks about mental health, depression, and the way their relationship progressed in this one and solidifies them as very established couple in this one. I have read only first and second and sixth book, but I think I will read fifth one because a lot of that storyline coincides with this one. So I also love the couple in that book, so I want to know about them more while be reading that one. So these were the 5 romance recommendations I have for you, and all of them are very emotional and are quite different from each other. So most of them are underrated, so I definitely will recommend them to you. It will definitely make your heart melt and will really make you believe in love again. So that's it for the video. Comment down below and let me know your favorite romance books. I love enemies to lovers, so if you have some recommendation with that trope, I'll definitely read. See you next time.